There was some conversation about a trip to Tennessee.
I heard that.
Did you hear that too?
I did.
What?
Okay. I don't know if there's any bourbon in Tennessee that is it a whiskey trail? I think we may need to look into this. So
What did I
apparently Debbie and Sarah had lunch and
okay. I'm like, what?
And Sarah was like, "Tell the boys we're going to Tennessee." And I was like, "Okay."
And then she told Deb, like, "You plan it."
Did she really?
Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know anything about this.
I don't think any of us know anything about the Tennessee Whiskey Trail.
I don't know.
So, anyways.
I mean, there's Blue Note Memphis. But
Yeah, there's that. We've got some fugitives in Nashville. But Sarah made it sound like there was a trail.
Ask her.
Well, there's a lot of trails in
It
Tennessee.
could be like
I don't know if they're bourbon
bike trail. Could be a bird watching trail.
Anything. Yeah.
Oh, I'll pick her brain a little bit if I can catch a hold of it. It moves really fast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bourbon Boys, the podcast where guys get together to talk about bourbon, about life, or libation, and just generally bitch about work. We aren't bourbon snobs, we're just a bunch of guys who like to drink bourbon for what it is and how it tastes. It's pretty simple. This is podcast number 64. We're on a roll. We'll be 70 soon. I'm Alton, and with me are the Bourbon Boys. I got Dew,
Yo.
Kurton,
Hey, glad to be here.
and Mr. Kratt.
Are you
Who is
really?
that?
Are you really glad to be here?
Are you smoking earlier?
Hi, Alton.
Mr. Kratt, welcome.
I'm super happy to be here. That was a very enthusiastic intro.
Oh, good.
I appreciate that.
Good. Get you guys take off your poopy pants. We're going to have some bourbon.
Poopy pants.
We've got a different kind of night tonight. Usually we have 3 bottles lined up that are tied together or there's a story behind them.
Yep.
I guess we can make up stories behind these two, but these are two.
Call these luck of the draw.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah.
That's good.
We
like
couldn't
that.
afford 3 bottles with what we got.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, this is
6 bottles worth.
This is out of the norm. We're definitely not bourbon snobs, but these come off the high end of the top shelf from what we're used to. So we got a Woodford Reserve Masters Collection.
Yep.
Screaming in at 124 plus proof. The Mr. Kratt won via the local lottery.
The right
That
to
he had to pay
purchase.
for.
The right to purchase.
You're a winner. You're a winner in our book because we didn't have
My
to pay for
favorite
it.
lottery. You have won the lottery.
Yeah, Sarah still doesn't understand. But you
Doesn't
won
match
it.
any of the lotteries.
You
Right.
won it. I was like, yeah, I won the right to buy it.
Exactly.
That's just stupid.
Dad, you can crank that up.
Yeah, I'll see you when I get back.
Yeah. Kurt, are y'all done with dinner?
Yeah.
I am.
Thank
You
you.
do your Jimmy John's plug.
Yeah, Jimmy John's. Brought to you by Jimmy John's.
Thank you for shopping at Jimmy John's.
The smells are free.
Today's special is number 9, the Italian.
Freaky fast. And let's see. So Woodford
Okay.
Reserve Masters Collection and
No coupon code?
No coupon code.
We got a Weller Black 12-year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks really
And
good.
Trust
Yeah.
me, there have been many of evenings I wanted to crack that sucker open.
Yeah, we've been holding it. Kurt's been holding that one for a while. I think. Did we all chip in to buy that one?
Yes.
Okay.
We all square.
I don't think you paid me.
Good thing Venmo keeps track of that shit because I think I did. But
We can go to the Google truck.
Yeah, we can go to the Google truck. So we chipped in and bought that one to drink offline at some point, which we will do. But we decided that let's stop dinking around and let's try it.
yeah,
I like it.
So
cool.
all right, let's see. We've been starting with the lower proof, and like I said, the Woodford's a smoking hot 124.7.
It's a cooker.
What's the Weller over there?
Caller, please hold.
I'm gonna go less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 90 proof.
Oh, all right, I know where we're starting.
That's a good starting point. All right.
Do you want to start there, or do you want to end there?
I want to taste that. I want to taste the Weller, and I'm afraid if I start with the 124,
Yeah,
Okay.
I will feel it.
We've
but I won't
learned
taste it.
our lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you burn all the taste
That's
buds.
right.
All right.
All right, you want me to crack it open?
Yeah.
Please.
You can do the read. I'll do the pour.
Open it slowly. I didn't do any homework, guys. Sorry.
Well, just tell us where did you find the bottle? Because you texted us all the bottle.
So here's the story on the bottle. So Weller 12. It's a black label.
kills me that it's a twist top.
Pretty hard. That is kind of funny,
I
actually.
hate that.
Pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
You will not. I don't know if you guys agree, but you will not find it around here.
No.
I have not seen it. Even in my travels, have not seen it on the shelf anywhere.
No.
So,
Thank you, sir.
a guy I work with, Jeremy Gomez, he has a buddy. He's from Kentucky. He has a buddy up in Kentucky who buys, has access to in certain accounts to buy some of these bottles up. So I think he had one or two of them, and Jeremy reached out to me. He was up there visiting, and he's like, "Hey, is there anything on this shelf that you might want?" And so there were a couple things on there I asked about, but they were way too expensive. But this one was affordable if we split it between the four.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, affordable
four
was-
payment plans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it like 40 something a pee? I can't remember.
It was 60. I think we
Yeah.
paid $225 for the bottle.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
It smells great.
It does smell great.
Got a nice color.
I mean, it
Really
has
nice
an
color.
amazing
Yeah.
color. I will tell you, I was at a spirits trade show up in New York, and it was a cool event, and there was a lot of the big names there, but then there were also distributors there. So the distributors had all the different brands that they actually sell, where you could just walk up and taste anything you wanted. So this was on the shelf, and I saw it, and I actually didn't think I could taste it, so I
smooth.
kind of went up and was like, "Can I try the 12?" And she's like, "Sure." She's like, she grabbed the bottle and gave me a drink, and I was like, "Can I try it again?"
Yeah. You want to go out?
Can I have the bottle?
Yeah, right, exactly. So that was my first taste of it, and I was like, I was completely hooked. It's a really,
It is really
it's-
good.
it's a really,
Crazy smooth.
Yeah.
And it's a wheat, right?
it is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a wheated bourbon.
I think all Weller's a wheat,
Yeah,
correct?
Yep.
yeah. So,
It is really crazy smooth.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've talked about Weller.
It has.
And
So-
how it's not the Weller of Stitzelweller, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah. Isn't this I'm going to keep interrupting you so you can keep doing your homework.
That's okay. I'm used
This
to
is
you
a
guys doing
Buffalo
that.
Trace.
This is a Buffalo Trace
Mhm.
brand, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
it
Okay.
is. So, wheated bourbon, just for the sake of wheated bourbon in general, not just this one, but the wheat is a predominant grain in the mash bill after corn. So there's still more corn than wheat in the actual bourbon. And traditionally, the rye will take a second billing. The Weller 12-year, which we're drinking right now, is often referred to by some as the poor man's pappy.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Not the very poor man's pappy.
yeah, yeah.
so that tells you a little bit about the quality. So, yeah.
It's really good.
It is really good.
Wasn't there? This goes way back, early episodes. We talked about the poor man's pappy and how you could take like, I forget what it was. It was like a Buffalo Trace and a Weller and mix them
Mm-hmm.
to get basically a similar flavor profile.
I don't recall that.
No?
No.
Yeah.
Remember we
I'll
had
buy
the and we tried Elmer tea, which apparently word on the street is that tastes a lot like Pappy tea, but
Yeah.
I don't think any of us liked it.
Really?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one that Sarah
yeah,
gave me for
yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
and spent way too much money on probably. But
right.
yeah, did not like that one much.
Mm.
This is good.
This is very good.
So what's interesting is other than the 23-year-old Pappy, in the Stitzelweller lineup, all of their wheated bourbons use a Buffalo Trace mash bill.
Correct.
So
With except no wheat, the wheated part, right?
no, actually, it's saying that. Well, it doesn't clarify. It says all Pappy and Weller bourbons use the Buffalo Trace wheated mash bill. So I would
Wheated,
assume it's
okay.
exactly the
Yep.
same.
Yep.
But and so the Buffalo Trace mash bill is roughly 10% less, and I'm sorry, probably 10% less, and mash bill. Wait a second, hold on, callers, please hold. Sorry, I'm reading.
We were up in Mass a couple weeks ago. Went out to one of our favorite restaurants, the Charred Oak, and they have just a wall of bourbon, and at the top were all the Pappies.
Mm.
So look through the menu. The Pappy 20 was $130 an ounce.
Wow.
It's 25 ounces in a 750 mil.
I thought my $43 was expensive.
It is,
Well, it is.
but like for the
It's all
price
relative,
for the
though.
price of
It's all relative.
you know.
I do have one complaint on this one though.
Yeah, what do you got?
The finish is weak
You think
for
so?
me. For me, it's weak.
Really short?
Yeah, it just
It is very short.
it stops.
You like the rye,
I do.
the spice,
I do.
So
the pfeffer.
what I didn't know,
It's good.
what I didn't know is Buffalo Trace has two primary mash bills. So it says the mash bill number 1 is most likely 10% or less rye, while mash bill number 2 is somewhere between 10 to 12% rye.
Okay.
So
For the non-wheated. Because you'd swap rye for wheat.
right.
So if this is all going in, so let's just whiteboard this out
Yep.
on the telestrator.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So if there's a Buffalo Trace wheated mash bill, you got heavy corn, no rye, wheat, and malted barley,
Yep.
and it goes in at the same screaming hot white dog as unlabeled, right? So it doesn't
Right.
have a label.
Yep.
Goes in a barrel, goes into a rick house
Correct.
that may have the characteristics that you'd want for a Weller or you'd want for a Pappy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then periodic tasting after 12 years, after 15 years, at 20 years, someone goes, okay, now it tastes like the
Right.
Pappy that I remember.
It separates.
So it is branded at taste.
Yeah, that's a
Because they also have
that was a
Bland.
faster way of describing that. I love it.
So Bland's comes through that same pipeline, right? Buffalo Trace makes a
Yeah,
Bland's.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So
on the non-wheated side.
The
Yeah, on the non-wheated side. Yeah. Sorry.
Taylor, E.F. Taylor,
Yeah, Taylor.
Mhm.
Colonel Taylor. Yep.
Colonel Taylor.
Eagle Rare.
Yep. There's a lot. I mean, it's a
Bunch.
prolific brand.
Stag.
I
So-
learned recently that. so
I'll
so,
just keep trying.
I don't know if I told you this, but we on that first trip we bought.
It's the one that Kurt didn't go on.
That's
yeah,
right.
that one.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
We bought a bottle of Taylor for our son Taylor and gave it to him. And said, hey, before we knew anything about bourbon,
Yeah.
There you go.
it's now an $800 bottle of bourbon.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So when we were at his house, I think over Christmas, I was like, hey, got any of that bourbon we
Gone.
gave you? He goes, oh, it was terrible. I dumped it.
No.
Yeah.
I hope he was pulling your leg.
No.
Did you slap
At
him?
least give it to the dog.
But then I realized at that age, I knew nothing about
Yeah.
bourbon either.
Yeah.
It was just to him, it wasn't
Yeah.
his flavor profile.
My daughter
Yeah.
knows better not to dump anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
it makes sense.
before we all got into
yeah.
bourbon,
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
That's true.
I probably would have poured Buffalo
That's true.
Trace down the drain if it was sitting around for too long. I'd be like, this
This
is
has got to be old.
yeah, right.
So another interesting tidbit.
Kids.
So
I
Weller,
know.
essentially what they're saying is Weller is basically Pappy, made at the Buffalo Trace using the same mash bill. But the difference is that they're aged for different amounts of time, and they're also in different warehouses. And they said this makes Weller probably the closest thing to Pappy you can find. And for that reason, it's become another cult whiskey, which to some degree it has,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I would agree.
So
It's tasty.
I like
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on the finish.
It is.
Although I don't think it's so short that there's no finish. But
I'm not getting
What's
much.
can you ask the Google truck what Pappy's proof is? Never held a bottle long enough to,
Yeah.
I think it varies actually. But
and it's. I would imagine it's blended.
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
If
you have a bottle, don't you?
No.
Oh,
No. I just gave Dave my copy of Pappy Land, so
Yeah.
I'll wait till he gets
okay.
through that. But if anybody hasn't read that,
Yeah.
in my mind, that really kind of diffuses the glow of
Yeah, it
and the
does.
stigma of
Yeah.
Pappy.
it does. Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting story, and about a brand and a name, and the comeback story. But
Hell of a brand, that's for sure.
Sure.
yeah,
Super limited run.
I'm still not sure exactly how they fell into that.
I took a chance. Had nothing to lose.
Yeah, but still, how do you get the street cred? I mean, he just kept buying
Exclusivity.
bottles. Yeah, he just kept buying bottles and blending,
Yeah.
and then
think it was just-
post exclusivity when it ran out. So
Yeah.
but it's
Don't
interesting.
ruin the book.
I won't. Yeah.
Did you watch the movie, the documentary, the Pappy heist?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, greed kills, man. They had such a good thing.
How many cases? One or two, maybe?
30.
10, 100? I don't know. I lost track.
Well, they started wheeling in the barrels
steal the
out.
barrel.
It's like,
They called it was what, Pappygate or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah, it's so good.
all because of a softball team.
That's right.
And yeah, what? They were all shooting up too, right? They were all juicing. Like there was roid rage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, roid rage.
I take
Pappy
that
Rage.
softball
kids.
seriously.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
So this is sorry to interrupt your chitter chatter here, but so it
We're
varies.
just vamping.
We're
We're
just
filling in
stalling.
while you're doing
yeah, no, it
homework.
varies. So it's interesting because they say the 23-year-old straight Kentucky bourbon from Pappy Van Winkle is 95 proof, but the 15-year is 107 proof. So I don't. It seems like they vary anywhere from 90 proof all the way up into like low hundreds.
Okay.
So, but again, that's only what
So
I'm
they're
reading.
stretching it too.
Mm-hmm.
So they could take a cast strength at high 120s and cut it to be 90.
Yep. Stretch it.
Get a few more bottles.
And here
out
you
of
go.
that.
Yeah.
They deliberately restrict the number of bottles released in order to keep the price up.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
It works. Why would you change it?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm curious what. So last I checked too, it's not $1,500, $2,000 a bottle retail. It's coming in at $180 to $300 a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all the
If you
resale
can get
market.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's not what Buffalo Trace is selling it to that.
No, for sure not.
So
The lowest I've got here is $9.94. Here's a 20-year family reserve, $3,500.
yeah. I'd
I don't
spend
even know.
$300 or $400, maybe up to $500 on
Yeah.
it. But
No way.
Did you guys see the sweepstakes on Huckberry?
yeah,
They've got a Pappy giveaway where you get $10,000 worth of Pappy and $10,000 in cash.
Huh.
I'd take the cash.
You get both.
You get both. You don't have to
okay.
decide.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
take both. Yeah.
I would just worry about the authenticity. Dropping any coin like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Who knows what you're getting?
Yeah.
Anybody can put a label on a bottle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
This is
Dave,
good.
you were like, it's
I like
good,
it.
but not
No,
fantastic.
I like it, but it's not my favorite.
No.
I get
I
a
do
lot
like
of
it.
brown sugar on the nose. What do you guys get?
Sweet
Very,
caramel.
very sweet.
Well, it is
caramel.
sweet. I
Yeah.
mean,
Which I like a lot.
Al, that's because you're just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You're full of sugar.
Exactly. That's what my mom always told me. While she's hitting me with her shoe.
There you go.
Echo and the Bunny Man. Lips like sugar.
It's good.
Echo the Bunny Man.
It's, yeah, I mean, I like it a lot because I like the sweet. Not a $200 bottle. There's not enough
No.
complexity or variance in it, or like you said, the burn's not there. So,
Well,
again,
and
it's
that's what we
fine.
paid for it, right? I don't know, like, if you go, let me look quick. Go into the Google truck. I'll be right back.
What do you think the closest bottle in the $40 to $60 bottle range that has that taste would be?
40 to 60.
Yeah.
I think-
the knobs, like the knob
I think
12 and 9.
I think Rare Breed's up there.
Rare Breed's hot.
Yeah,
It's just hard
a bit
to-
hotter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's a hard comparison without trying to keep it within the wheat category. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of some
It's
of
very
the other,
smooth.
because we haven't really done that many wheats.
No.
No, we did Pot Still. Well, what? Yeah, that's one of my favorites, actually.
Will
Will it?
Willet Pot Still,
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the local front, and again, it's a completely different mash bill, but
They're roughly 200.
conviction's not that far off
Right.
from a sweetness and
Mhm.
short finish.
And that's pure corn, right?
That's pure corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did we drink last time? There was one last time, I thought.
Was that when we had the Monks Road and David E.
David E.
The David E.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania stuff.
Monks
I don't know what you
Road
took.
and was it the Kentucky Owl last time?
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought one of those was pretty sweet. I'm trying to think which one I was drinking with
The Kentucky Owl, I think, was a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Tony Bennett.
We like the Monks. We like the Monks Road better than the
Mhm.
Kentucky Owl, but I think the Kentucky Owl was a
A
little
little bit
sweeter.
sweeter.
Yeah.
This is
tastes
good.
I like it.
Yep. But wait.
Yeah, thank you, buddy, for picking this up
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for us.
I will.
Again, it is
I'll tell
not
him
easy.
tomorrow.
It's not as easy to find.
No, I mean, he's somebody we could tap
Yeah.
into too if when he's going up there if his buddy's got stuff.
Yeah, and if anybody's going to the Buffalo Trace Distillery, the way that works, at least it has a couple of times we've been there, show up early because they basically have an allotment of Weller. I think we got Green Label last time we were there.
Yep.
You go in and you can buy one bottle of Buffalo Trace, 1 bottle of their special, which in our case was Weller Green.
Yep.
I've heard occasionally there's blends in there, but again, they're very limited in what you can actually buy. So don't tumble in there at the end of the day. Think you're going to load up on Buffalo Trace blends and Wellers, or Eagle Rare for that matter. It's just they do not put a lot of distribution through their gift shop.
The barbecue shack is worth a stop too.
It is absolutely. It's beautiful grounds.
It really is.
And the barbecue shack is worth the stop.
Yeah.
When you guys stopped last time, did you get a tour? Because
No.
the first trip we didn't do the tour.
No, we did not. We just ducked in to buy our
That
allotment.
was when we were coming back from our weekend up there.
Right.
We were yelling at the girls. It was raining and cold,
Yeah,
so we were yelling at the
it was
girls like,
nasty
"Get up
day."
here! We need bodies."
We need buyers.
Exactly.
We need buyers.
Mules.
So fortunately, they had to
Right.
pee, so they tumbled in. So
Yeah.
All right.
all right,
Speaking of which, if we go back there's a great new Cuban restaurant there we have to go to.
I thought he was going to say he had to pee.
No.
Okay.
in Louisville or Lexington.
There's a lot happening there now since we were there. A lot of new restaurants, a lot of areas getting.
It's the podcast.
Is it regentrified?
That's our podcast
But like
effect.
there's
You're welcome, Louisville.
I mean,
these great old
What were they
warehouse
before we got up
buildings
there?
and
Right?
what's that?
I mean, what were they before we got up there
Nothing.
and started broadcasting?
No.
Nothing.
Just had Corky.
I know.
Yeah.
We still got to get
Yeah.
Corky.
Corky Taylor.
Well, he's getting ready to go to Florida.
We'll head him off at the
Did
pass.
he ever come back from Florida?
Kurt's still
We
stalking.
should tell him to stop here on his way down to Florida.
That's right. He might be taking a PJ though. You never know.
Yeah, I would assume Corky's not driving through here.
So
All right. What do we got?
All right,
What's
I'm
next?
trying to finish my Weller. You guys
I was gonna say.
talk amongst yourselves.
That was a
chit-chat
good.
up
I
there.
was a generous pour too.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one's not going to be generous because there's
No.
only so much in this bottle, and I promised a little bit to Sarah and Drew. So
And I'm driving. Give me a light touch.
By the way, sorry I didn't make it over for the Meat Fest.
it's okay. We'll do
Perfect,
it again.
brother.
Here you go.
Thank you.
There will be plenty of meat.
It
To
looked,
be-
it
to be
looked
cooked.
really good.
Well, we will do it again for sure. So brisket's the new thing for me, though. I definitely,
Yeah?
This is the second one that I've done, and it tastes good. Tastes really good.
Yeah.
Brisket is one of my
Franklin style?
favorites.
What's that?
You doing Aaron Franklin style?
I don't know what that is.
He's the guy out of Austin.
No,
Franklin's barbecue.
no. I just lots of rub, a little salt, pepper, garlic rub. Hit it with a little meat church rub, and then I spritz it every 45 minutes.
Apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar, Dr.
Can I see the
Pepper,
bottle?
Worcestershire.
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 So,
Did you get up early? Did you?
so
I asked you that, yeah.
the plan was a 4 a.m. start cook.
yeah.
We didn't start till 8, so we didn't eat till about 9:30. And
Are you blaming Drew for that?
No, well, I'll blame Mills because I wanted them to come up Friday night so that Drew and I could get up early, and she wanted to stay down there. But I get it. She's been spending a lot of time in Mooresville, more so than she really wants. So,
That's fair.
but anyways, it was
She's like,
nice.
he's mine, Dad. He's
Yeah.
mine.
Exactly.
Yeah. We continue to have that discussion. So, anyways, so this one through the ABC lottery, which I gave you guys the link in the
Nice.
in our BourbonBoys text. So.
We will not be sharing that in the show notes. We need all the chances we can.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Right.
So this one, I was actually in a brief in with an agency, and my phone rang, and I looked down at my phone, and it said Mooresville ABC. And whenever I see that, you have to take the call. Otherwise, they bump
They just
down.
move on, right?
They just bump down to the
Yeah.
next person on the list. And so I excused myself from the call and went out in the hallway. And of course, my boss was kind of looking at me like, "What the hell's he Kratt doing?" But anyways, he understood.
I'm sure he
It's an
understood.
emergency.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand?
Gerardo is very supportive.
Yeah, he was all good. But anyway, so called them, and they said, "Hey, it's the ABC store. You've been selected. Do you want to buy a bottle?" And I was like, "Well, it depends on which bottle it is, because I'm not going to spend $800 on something crazy." But anyway, so it was the Woodford Reserve Masters Collection, and so $150. That's about my limit.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's 700 milliliters instead of 750.
Just
So
short. The short boy.
They short you a little bit, but it's a
You've
really
been robbed.
it's a pretty little
Inflation's real.
The bottle's cool.
Little like genie looking bottle. Very cool.
I like the bottle.
124.7 proof.
Yes.
So
Yes,
this one's
it
got some heat
is.
to it.
Then we put
It's,
your cigarettes out.
Yep. Yep. So interestingly,
It lights your cigar. It's that hot.
yeah. So this one, it goes in the barrel at 100 proof. What I did not know, and I don't
Goes in
know.
at 100.
Yeah. And what I did not know, Derek, you may remember this from when we were there, but apparently Woodford blends within their own portfolio. And so their pot still method does not give them the color that they like.
Okay.
And so they mix a lot with Old Forester.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Which one?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one.
Huh.
But anyways, apparently it's to get the color.
Okay.
So I have not tasted this one. We just opened this.
It is a
Yeah.
great dark color. I mean,
Yeah,
one
super
one
dark.
of them we had last week was, or last couple weeks was dark.
David E was
David
pretty
E.
dark.
David E, maybe that's what it was. But this is a beautiful
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah. So,
How old is it?
good question. I'm not sure.
That's the thing with like the birthdays and the master collections. You don't.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
They
kinda
don't really.
limited to,
They don't really talk about it much.
But for that color, now I mean, I don't know what the Old Forester blend is
Yeah,
going to
so
do to it, but
The way that, and I'm not even sure how they're able to get a pure mash bill on this thing because they are blending it. But
yeah,
72 corn, 18 rye, 10 malted barley.
It's really dark.
Yeah, color rust. You know what? You know what? This one. That's so weird. This one's saying that the proof is a 90 proof, and it's not.
no.
The bottle says 124.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one says release February 2023. So maybe there was an earlier Masters Collection. But anyways,
I get a sweet smell from it. Or is that just me?
Yeah,
Totally.
I get sweet.
yeah. I mean, it's still gonna have a chunk of corn in it.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
It's right in the tip. Like the tip of your tongue is on fire. It's very spicy.
Wow.
Yeah, big difference.
Holy cow.
You throw, 34 proof at it.
Yeah.
And
I like this.
It's good. Longer
So-
finish.
Yep.
See, I was just gonna say, this is so strange to me because I feel it sits on my tongue, but I don't feel it going down.
I get it in the back of my throat. It's like
Yeah,
So,
I don't
up
get
high in
the
the
chest.
back.
The chest
No,
one.
I don't
get
get
the
that.
chest.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but it's sitting right in the center of my tongue.
If you
for sure.
threw all
It's
of
good.
that, if you threw all of that in your face right now, you would.
I'm kind of with Kurt. I feel the heat and the flavor in my
Yeah.
mouth, but not down
Yeah.
my throat or
No.
in my chest at all.
Mm-mm.
Which is interesting because it's 100, almost 125 proof,
Right.
which a lot of these
Can I see the bubble?
cook
Yeah.
all the way down.
4 years ago, you might have felt it in your chest.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just
true. I know this might be
experienced now.
exact. Well,
That's
or
probably true, right? Half of it's
Yeah.
dead down there now.
It's got a lot of flavor, though. It's not just all like in your face.
No.
heat.
It's
just got
actually really balanced.
No, it's got it.
It's a super balanced bourbon,
Yeah.
I think.
it brings a lot to the table. I mean, when we talk about complexity
Yeah.
and diversity in it, it's like
You get-
very
you get,
much.
Did you just say diversity?
In the taste, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
you get a lot of like berry kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like a dark cherry,
One of the guys that I was reading online that tasted
Parmesan.
this, a little
I was
Parmesan.
going to say, I'm
That's where I got
tasting
the Parmesan.
popcorn.
There you go. But one of the guys that tasted this said that after drinking this, he can't drink regular Woodford anymore. That it's just
Oh, I believe that.
there's just
broke
no. Yeah, there's
I
just,
believe that.
yeah.
There's
So
grab the Woodford that's on the shelf there. We'll see what the proof is on that. Just off the shelf, basic. You can get it anywhere,
The double
everywhere.
oak?
is it
I don't
double
know
oak?
if I've got the
Is it
double
double
oak or.
Double oak. Use your nose, Kurt.
Yeah.
There's only 90-something bottles up there, or 100 bottles. Like,
That might be rye.
that was fast. That's a rye and it's green.
I
Yeah.
didn't know you liked rice.
Are those not in
the
alphabetical
bottle's
order?
full.
Oh, this is bird dog. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, we gotta bust that rye open. I know. Kurt's shopping.
We've lost Kurt. We've lost Kurt. And the Wonder Wall.
Do some shopping. Who needs to go to
This is the rye. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I didn't eat knew you had a rye on there.
I
on
bought
your
that.
shelf there.
That's from the first trip.
Okay, good. I
That's-
can tell you
Hey,
barely.
if anybody can
I
get their
know.
hands on buffalo for me, I would like some.
Yeah.
I won't mark it up too much.
This rye is 90 proof.
We're headed west in about 3 weeks. So
Okay.
you guys,
Where are you going?
Nice.
St. Louis. Check on the in-laws.
There you go.
So I hope the West Knoxville Total Wine stocks up.
There you go. They find some
Yeah.
fugitives too.
Yep.
If you're
I'm
listening.
out.
Fugitives, some Blue Run, you name it.
Yeah.
Are you going through Memphis?
Nope.
Okay. You know what I'm
way
looking
out
for.
of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, Riverset?
No.
No.
The Rabbi.
The rabbi.
Oh, the rabbi.
Gave me the rabbi.
Give me the rabbi.
This is really good, Dave.
This is good.
This is really good.
Yeah, I really
Thank you for buying this.
quite welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you,
is,
ABC, for selecting Dave.
This has got some oomph to it for sure. But I can see where once you've had this regular Woodford, it's just like I don't know. Like
I mean, I go back to when we started this, right? I think we started with like a Woodford and
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Basil Hayden.
our training pants on.
Yeah. It's like a breakfast.
And it's funny because like I go
breakfast
through the
burgers.
store now, I'm like, yeah, no.
I'll tell you, I have been noticing though. There's a lot of really just local stuff popping up, and not necessarily just like local to North Carolina, but you know even Concord and some of these other places that you're seeing some smaller stuff. Be interesting to start checking some of that stuff out.
The ABC over here by 77. I don't know what exit that is. 28.
The Huntersville one.
No, Cornelius.
Oh yeah.
That
It's 28.
28. Yeah.
That one has a North Carolina Bourbon Trail.
Oh
map.
cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where I never noticed
That's
that.
the one right next to the Napa.
Did you take
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take your magic marker and mark out a couple of
Yeah,
them?
that's right.
OWN.
You can skip that.
Clover.
I think Deb took a picture of it. We'll have to give it a shot. We could probably take a week, like a Saturday, and
Yeah.
just bang a few of them out. It's cool.
Rent a bus.
I'll tell you, the more I'm drinking this, the more I'm starting to feel it in my chest.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
this is good. This one grows on you.
yeah, I like it.
So
Too
what do you
bad
guys
it's
think? So you talk about like the local bourbons popping up, and then you don't have to look hard to look at the distilleries in Kentucky just exploding, in Tennessee for that matter. So what happens in 5 years? Do they just continue to make these micro labels? Does it become concentrated? Does it get saturated? I mean, what happens when white liquors make a return? It's going to happen at some point.
It is.
I mean, everybody's betting the farm right now. The dark liquors and bourbon particularly stays strong. I mean, for us, it should be good because the prices should come down. But
Yep.
at what point is quality traded off?
I think it depends on. Listen, all hypothetical, but I think it depends on how much they produce.
Right now,
Right.
That's, I think they put it under the title of shit ton.
Right. But I mean, sorry. But I think about like the DeFuskys of the world and, you know, all the smaller ones you're talking about, right? They're not going to go into mass production like a Woodford or,
Yeah.
you know, otherwise. So I don't know. I think, excuse me, is the quality going to go down as they continue to just produce more and more and more? I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
good question. It's a good
Well, and two, you start to wonder if some of the bigger players and some of the other fields of alcohol begin to diversify. I mean, you look at Blue Run just getting acquired by Coors. You know,
Yeah.
it's like my precious Blue Run. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
We're,
Yeah, right
losing,
there.
we're losing Kurt.
Good Lord. You sure it's not that 126 point or 124.7?
We'll miss you, Kurt.
Say, I'm not giving him the Heimlich in someone else's
not
job.
that. Not that. I'll give him the highway. You can give him CPR.
I'm not giving him out to mouth, that's for sure.
But no, this is good. I do like this. This is, again, it's not an easy one to get a hold of. But for the uniqueness of this.
Yep. There are people, I've seen posts where it's at Total Wine in some places in the country.
This?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like 130 versus 150.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
very good.
It's a good addition. 130 is not terrible for something that
I have it.
it would surprise me if that's only a 4-year or a 6-year.
Yeah.
It just has a lot more complexity.
Oh, because
Yeah.
it doesn't say in it?
It doesn't. I agree. It tastes like it's been in the barrel for a while.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, 130 to have on
Take
your
a run
shelf
to the
for a
Google
while.
truck.
For
You taking a run to the Google truck?
Yep.
All right.
I am. I'll be right back.
All right, cool.
No, to have this on your shelf for special occasions or whatever. If you catch somebody actually mixing this, you should definitely punch them in the
Slap
throat.
'em. Yep.
Yeah.
Reach as far as you can.
Yes, but
Don't let them know you're coming.
yeah,
Big slap.
yeah, but to have it on the shelf, it's unique enough. I would say.
Yeah,
It's worth
I
it.
agree. Just see how
I'm
long it
digging
lasts
it.
in my house. I give it about 3 weeks.
That's optimistic.
You're right.
I was going for a weekend.
Well, Sarah's traveling starting next week, so that may buy me a little bit of time.
You got a little bit of time.
Well, the weekend that she's home was the weekend I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
So
I
it
like
does
it.
say it's crafted with bourbon up to 17 years.
Ooh.
It's crafted with bourbon aged up to 17 years.
Okay.
So
So we went to the Woodford distillery, which, by the
Correct.
way, as a
Beautiful.
reminder, I've said it many, many times that
no,
if you
we didn't. Just so you know.
Well-
Just being clear.
I'm sorry.
I can turn his mic down.
Exactly. who is that? Who is that guy?
It's like being on a Teams call and being able to mute people. It's like don't want to listen.
So
And he's gone.
Some of us went to Woodford. Some of us have been
Oh,
there.
that was great.
And we continue to
awesome.
say that is the kind of the baseline for if you're starting the bourbon trail, you're interested at all, and you're in the area, hit Woodford. It's a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
They top notch, great tasting room, etc. Question I have: I don't recall. Do they do any other labels out of there, or is it all Woodford?
No, it's
Woodford
all
Double O.
It was-
It was all
okay. That's
It
what
was
I
all
thought.
Woodford Double Oak,
Yep.
the Woodford Rye. That's all they had in the
okay.
The
shop.
double oak is
Since
nice.
since we visited, they have had some special releases. There was one that was had a gosh, I forgot the name of it now, but it had like hints of chocolate in it.
But it was Woodford.
It was all branded Woodford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of it was.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it was interesting when I read that they're actually blending it with
Yeah.
Old Forester.
That is interesting.
I mean, listen, the
Really
regular
old Forester.
regular Woodford Reserve
Yeah.
is like 6 to 7 years. So something like this, I can believe it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a really good job. That was
And our
a
tour
beautiful
guide,
place.
our guide was amazing too.
Yeah.
He was a history teacher
Yep.
and a retired history teacher, and he took that job pretty dang seriously.
Yes, he did.
And you had the barrel, the state, what was it called? The
Oh yeah,
was that copper
the bourbon
thing?
thief.
Bourbon Thief. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got to try that. I
Yeah.
got to do that. Yeah, right place, right time, man.
Sure
So
were.
your-
Check the
so
box.
your-
Does anyone-
Your DNA is
Get off me, man!
Yeah.
Get your
And
hand.
they had a wall of barrels that were purchased.
Mm.
Like Nicolas Cage had a barrel up there.
Mm.
And then Kroger, if you get if this is the right one, right? If you find Kroger brand bourbon in aisle, it's Woodford.
Really?
So they rebranded Kroger.
Not sure I'd do that.
I don't know, works for them. When you get the chance,
Yeah,
you can keep it whatever you want it to be.
No.
But it was neat in that you could go buy a barrel, and I think at the time it was 15, 20 grand
Yeah.
for a barrel.
Ooh.
It was pretty steep. Yeah.
yeah,
But you got 250 plus bottles out of the
yeah.
barrel.
225, 250. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Up
know.
there.
But that's like belonging to a country club, right? You golf the same golf course all the time. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd want that many bottles of the same bourbon.
Yeah,
I
problem
would
is
be
you
okay
don't
with
run out of the golf course though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And what?
divide by 4.
yeah. I was gonna say
Exactly.
$5
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah. I do still think it'd be fun to do a barrel selection.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, some of that I'm sure you guys follow them on online as well. But like Bourbon Pursuit, and
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, when
Yeah.
they do the barrel selections, like that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
So my buddy Jamie Tedeschi from Tedeschi family, Tedeschi Trucks.
Oh really cool.
Yep. He and Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks every year do a family barrel,
Oh nice.
and it's Weller.
Every year.
Really.
Yeah.
So when are they going to hang out with us?
Working on it.
See, I don't have friends
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they need a harmonica player, so if you can get on that.
We'll go to them.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello,
We'll bring our we'll bring our microphones.
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because he sent me a picture, and I forget which color label it was, but it had a seal on it, which was Tedeschi family barrel.
That's awesome.
Yeah. and he said it wasn't crazy. But they divided it by however many.
That's also
people
all
in the film went on
relative.
it.
That's also all relative, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yep.
Mhm.
But he's a good guy. He's
Cool.
he's on the lookout for Pappy up north, and but he's got that Weller, so maybe he can send us a bottle for Christmas.
There you go.
So, my nephew had his weekend with the boys. Our fan in Iowa. Just
You're a
telling-
fan. He's just your fan.
He is
just
my
for
fan, but he likes all of us, but he likes me the most. So Blake reached out and I asked you guys for a recommendation, and he ended up buying Jefferson's Ocean at Sea. Aged at Sea.
Yep.
And he said it was a hit.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. It's called the Salsa Weekend, so they must eat a lot of salsa.
Salsa weekend. Sure, they're not on a tequila trip.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Just the guys?
Just the guys, yeah.
That's awesome. My
Yep.
dad's doing that right now.
Really?
Yep. They've been doing it for over 20 years.
Where they go?
Speedo Weekend.
Whoa.
So they're playing golf and
They're very confident in themselves.
I was gonna say.
they're playing golf in the White Mountains. But they've done Cape Cod in the White Mountains
So when,
usually.
Where does
what are we
Speedo
doing
come in?
wrong?
Well,
gents?
no, but what's the speedo?
What's the Speedo?
Well, I'm not even worried about that. but
I don't
what-
even know what the origin of Speedo Weekend, but
When your dad
It's the
talks
same
about
group of
Speedo,
guys.
you don't really ask a follow-up question. Yeah.
He's not my dad.
Yeah, well, I don't. Even more the reason not to ask.
Yeah, that's cool. Right.
yeah. So good tradition.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Well, let's make a tradition.
Last call weekend.
There you go.
Last call weekend. Okay.
That sounds like one of us has to die.
Exactly.
Right. And you're all sitting around the table. You're like, okay, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Kratt's at stage 4. He's terminal. It's time for last call weekend.
All weekend, brother.
It's your time.
Oh, jeez. Do hear all your tools back. I'm out.
Most of your ideas are good, dude. That one, no.
It needs work. It needs work.
That one kind of sucks. Yeah.
Damn creative.
I don't think we're going to need a lot of participants.
Yeah. All right. So who's doing last call?
Apparently, Derek.
Speaking
You
of
just
last
had a
call.
great idea.
I would say let's throw it out there. We've all been lucky at one point in our lives. So the luck of the draw on this year. We've all been lucky at one point where, we didn't hit Lotto, we didn't hit Megabucks, we didn't hit Powerball. But we have been lucky. And with these two bottles on the table, it's a little bit easier, decision. How would you celebrate that luck? Which of these two would you bring to? What would the luck? What was the luck? What would it have been? So sometime in your life when you got lucky, that was like your lottery strike. You're 1 in a million. Luck of the draw.
I don't know if I have one of those.
I don't have a 1 in a million. And I'll tell you what, kind of all in hindsight, obviously.
Yeah.
For me, luck of the draw was relocating to North Carolina with Lowe's. I mean, I grew up in South Carolina, married Nellie's from St. Louis. We had kids in Kansas. Opportunity to come back here. Luck of the draw was really John Karleski. God rest his soul.
Yeah. Wow. I forgot he'd passed. Yeah.
Yeah, gave me the opportunity to come to Lowe's and, thinking just about how significant that was and the path it started me on. Definitely a highlight and a lucky moment. I mean, we all know how the hiring process works.
Yeah.
So I'd raise a glass with John. I would definitely grab the hot Woodford just so I could see John winch.
Yeah, but that's got John's personality all over it.
Real hot.
Yeah, real hot.
Yeah, so that would be, if I had to look back at a lucky moment, winning a lottery, that pivot point for me, definitely game changer. And it got me to this point with you clowns.
There you go. For me, I would say our house in Mooresville was kind of a luck of the draw kind of moment where we found it online. We went and looked at it. We really, really liked it. And then one of those deals where it went under contract before we could get our shit together. And it was like a month and a half or so later, we got a phone call. It was like, hey, what do you think? This person's fallen out do you want to jump back in? And so in the meantime, there was another couple, same thing. And so the family ultimately wanted us to have the house, and so that's how it panned out. And we absolutely love living there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mooresville, I think was a lot better place for us than Davidson was. And it's just a really special place. Sarah and I both just love that house. So I think that's probably the one. And then I think for me, that the Woodford has just got so much of a punch to it, and lots of flavor. So that's definitely the one I think would Sarah and I would celebrate with for sure. So
Back in the 115.
Yeah.
Kurton?
Kurt's still thinking.
I am still thinking.
Maybe the luck of the draw hasn't hit just yet.
Derek, you can go while you think if you want to.
Oh, I'm thinking. I would say our luck of the draw. We always talk about Carson's the point 001 chance of a kid. So Carson, he just turned 21. Yep. So 22 years ago.
Wow.
In just a few months, 22 years ago, Deb called and said, "You need to call Dr. Price, your urologist, who did your vasectomy, and
you're victim number 24."
and find out why it didn't work." It took me a minute to register that Carson was on the way.
He just didn't clamp down hard enough.
The
vasectomies for Dummies book has many flaws in it.
It's pre-YouTube, fair enough.
Yeah,
but he was Dr. Price was later arrested for selling oxy out of his trunk.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So he's in prison now. And all of my neighbors who recommended Dr. Price, I visited them the day I found out, and I handed out boxes of condoms to them.
They all went
and
back
suggested you might go for the multi-year checkup. just in case.
Go traditional.
Yep. So their expression was probably what you would get if you threw back the 124 proof. But celebrating with Carson on his 21st, I would go with a Weller, nice and smooth.
Very smooth.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have him. Can't imagine life without him.
Yeah, amen to that.
One in a million.
Good kid.
Yeah,
he's not a kid anymore.
He is.
Oh my God.
He is. For
They're
sure.
always kids, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old they are. They're always kids. I don't, not to build off of what Alton was saying, but I have to say that our move from Jersey to here was, I don't know. I think we were very fortunate to have had the opportunity. So, and I have Laura Lee to thank for that.
Mm-hmm.
She was very pivotal in bringing me down here and bringing us to a new place. And I think, for me, albeit how everything worked out, I met a lot of amazing people there.
Well, Alan and I will let you guys stay just a little bit longer.
That's right.
Well, I think we're going to need to stick around until you know what a nor'easter is.
We do need to clarify some of the storm names.
Yeah, right. No, but I think, listen, it's, for us, especially at the time that we're at in our lives, right? Friends are really important.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, so, I think we feel very fortunate for being here and for the friends that we have and the life that we have. And yeah.
Yep.
So
what bourbon are you going to drink?
That's tough. Listen, I probably will go to the Weller just because, I have a special memory for that one, being in New York and trying it for the first time. But, so I would probably go with the Weller number 12.
Good call.
Both great bourbons.
Yeah, so you can't lose.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
This was a high-end night.
Tippy toe night.
Very high.
Had to get up on the tippy toes to grab these.
I feel like I need to drink my bourbon with my pinky up in the air.
Yeah, these are bougie.
These are bougie.
I gotta get used to this.
We deserve
by the way.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Just for those of you who's gonna be shopping for future episodes.
That's right.
There you go.
All right,
gentlemen.
Good job.
We
boys.
had the Woodford Masters Collection, 124 proof, awesome limited reserve, and the Weller 12. Hard to find, but recommend both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
bourbon on,
absolutely.
gents.
Bourbon on, guys.
Bourbon on.